Good morning, everybody. My name is Halona Black, and this is our regular Wednesday AM Meditative Writing Circle. Today, we're talking about the topic of the courage to be seen. And I got this idea through, I think tomorrow is the first day of spring, at least as we recognize it here on this side of the world in the United States. And so I thought it would be an interesting uh, topic to look at spring as a way of, coming out, things coming out new, what it is that we want to celebrate, what are the things that we want to have come out of hiding. But first, we always start with just a couple of minutes of meditation, just to be able to center ourselves in the space. Good morning to everybody that's coming in. I believe your name is Amadoma. I don't remember seeing your name before, but welcome.
Thank
Um,
you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Miss Woods, good morning.
Good morning. I'm glad to be back. I've been working it into my schedule, figuring it out.
I'm happy to have you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll start with our couple of minutes of meditation. And we just start with closing our eyes. You can keep your video on or off, it's up to you. We just start by closing our eyes. We put our feet flat on the floor. Sit with your back straight. And just sort of relaxing your position. Sort of be mindful of your breathing for a moment. Just recognize that when you breathe in, your belly moves out. And when you breathe out, your belly pushes the air back in. Slightly drop your shoulders. Relax your arms. Notice if there's any tension in your neck or your back. And if you can visualize any of that tension, just sort of moving down your spine. Move it down your spine towards your tailbone. Towards the back of your legs. All the way down towards your ankles. And if you can imagine just offering that tension back to the center of the earth. Just take an extra minute just to be able to sit in your breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right, so we're talking about spring, the courage to be seen. What time is it? 7 minutes after the hour. So I started off talking about how spring sort of teaches us that the wintertime was sort of like a season of quiet, rest. Sometimes it's a season of inner work for a lot of us. And if we think about it, winter is just sort of our, just a time to be able to go inwards. And we look at spring as a new birth, a time for us to be able to start again, to be able to bring forth some of that work that we've been working on during the winter and bring it out into the open for to be able to share with other people. So that's what today's questions are really focused on. Um, let's see. So for our first question of the day, we're talking about where in life are we still hiding? So we all have places in our lives where we feel like we might be dimming our light and waiting for permission for other people to be able to give us the permission to be able to show up fully for ourselves or for the world. Um, but if we really think about it, in nature, nature doesn't really wait for ideal conditions for it to be able to work. You know, when it's time for the flowers to bloom, when it's time for the trees to leave, um, it just does it. And in a way, for a lot of us, we can be doing the same thing. So our question for this morning, our prompt number one is, where in my life am I still hiding or waiting for the right time to emerge? Where in my life am I still hiding or waiting for the right time to emerge? And I will put the question in the chat so that you all can read it. And in general, I can give you, let's see, we'll have 7 minutes to be able to write on this prompt for today. All right, the question is, where in my life am I still hiding or waiting for the right time to emerge? So in general, what I do is I ask people to, you can either read what you've written on the page or just sort of share just a general idea of what it is that you've written down, or just share your thoughts in general. That's also wonderful to hear too. And no one is ever really forced to share, although we do appreciate it when you do. So if anyone would like to be first, I would love to hear you.
I'll go.
Yes, Akai.
Where in my life am I hiding? I hide my body, my pain, my sorrows, loneliness, need for intimate connection. Not only do I hide, I'm a hider by identity. Not to have a negative confession, but to be fully transparent because the habit has been so consistent. I've taken it on as me. I will come in and out, but always retreat when frightened of intimacy, visibility. What's crazy is I want to be seen more than anything.
That was really beautiful. Thank you. I really like that you said that you've taken your, I guess your fear of being seen, you've taken that on as you. And so you're recognizing that that's not really a part of who you are, that you just, you know, you're just, that's a really vulnerable share. Thank you so much. I really love that. That's really beautiful.
I said I'd go for it. The question beckons it.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you so much. I love that. And I think that there's parts of that that we can all probably relate to, myself included. Because I've always thought of myself as like a shy person. Not really shy. I guess when in my younger days, I would call myself shy. But sometimes I will hold back from what it is that I want to be able to share with people. Um, Probably more so as a fear of what other people will say, more than being driven by what it is I feel compelled to be able to share, because that's just what I need to be able to share at the moment. So, and there, I'm learning that there's a difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I shouldn't really put forth other people's opinions over what it is that I feel like I need to be able to do first.
Yes, and I want to say, like when you say shyness, and I think of how we are bound by the a colonized language like English. They say shyness, and we people take it on as a permanent thing. I have a son that he carries himself like shy, or depression like it's a permanent thing, but that's because the language is limiting.
Mhm. Yeah, English language is very limiting. I'm learning that in other languages as I've gone around the world and spoken to other people, that there's always words for to be able to for feelings and things that really just don't you don't really find in the English language. And so there's a difficulty in us in being able to express what it is we need to express. Um, that's why learning other languages is important. Thank you, Sakai.
My pleasure.
Yes, Amadoma says, yes, the language represents a repressive culture. Yes, it does. Absolutely.
I think I'd like to share, and I'm not on camera because I'm really not ready to be on camera.
That's okay.
Oh, I just found out about your group, and I believe that everything happens for a reason, and perhaps it was a divine intervention because I need to write. I promised someone I would write his bio, and I have lots of ideas, but I've not produced the book.
Yeah.
When I started, I jotted down some things, and then I realized I don't have enough information for a whole bio. But then I started remembering things, and I have an idea for how I want the cover to look and things like that. But I never actually wrote it. And what I realized is because I said I would write this book first, this is keeping me from writing other books that I want to write.
Mhm.
So it's like I'm tying my own hands instead of just
Mhm.
doing it. And then
Absolutely.
perfection is one of my impediments. And I realize it doesn't have to be perfect.
Mhm.
Progress should be more important than the perfection. Just get it done.
Absolutely. And I can attest to that one, that when you just put the thing out there, it'll just roll into more things. That's really how this thing started, how this whole circle started. I just decided that because and really for years, I've wanted to have a circle of women writers who come together, just for an hour, just to be able to write whatever is on your heart. And so because of that, I've had a series of other opportunities be able to come to me because I took the opportunity just to be able to just take the first step. What's the smallest thing that you can commit to? A lot of times we say we want to be able to commit to the biggest thing, and then when we don't follow through on the big thing, then we punish ourselves in our head and say, we're not good, we're not worthy, we always let ourselves down. But when you just say that this is the smallest thing that I can commit to right now, and we'll just see where this goes. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to be able to follow through on the whole vision right now. What's the smallest part of your vision that you can start with right now?
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
It brings to mind the proverb, how do you eat an elephant?
Mm-hmm. One
One
bite
bite
at
at
a
a
time.
time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Sakai. That was very nice what you shared.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Anyone else would you like to share?
Hey, it's Claire. I'll share. I think Sakai, she always triggers something to make me think a little bit more after she speaks. Um, I had originally started writing like projects that I want to start on. I've been talking about this for over a year now. But I realized because of some of the things that I'm going to, what is really holding me back? I'm waiting to be emotionally healed. I feel like I can't move forward until I am. But I started thinking about, I said, this year is going to be a new year. I'm jumping out, I'm coming out. I have to work through and do the things I want while I'm healing. But for the longest, I just couldn't move. I felt like I have to fix this problem or fix this situation or fix me before I can do anything else. And I know people don't like the word stuck, but I was stuck in that. I have to wait. I can't do these things that I have goals that I've set for myself until I fix this now because I'm not whole. I can't, how could I possibly do and minister to others if I'm not right? And that's where I've been and I am. So also what's holding me back, I feel like everything has to be perfect situated. Like my office has to be perfect before I can sit down and do the things that I want to do. And I have to get past that. So I'm gonna, I have been doing things, but I have to set a goal, like you say, small things. Let me do one thing first. Let me spend a day in my room and get everything put in place because I feel like I can't do those things until I have an action plan, a full on, you know, statement, purpose statement. I feel like everything has to be lined up before I can launch and do the things I want. But in reality, they don't. I really don't have to have all of those things in place to do the things that I have set before myself to do. So just talking to myself and reminding myself everything doesn't have to be completely in line to step forward. And I don't have to be completely whole to step forward. And that's kind of a struggle for me. And I got to figure out how to get past that.
Absolutely. I can relate to that feeling as well. That feeling that we have to be perfect people. At least in my belief, I don't believe that we're fully whole, fully whole and complete until, we close our eyes on the last day that we're here. And then we can return to perfect wholeness and completeness. I know everyone believes different things, and that's fine. Um, but if we really waited until we reach absolute perfection, we'd never do anything. And
Right,
it's there's a perfecting process that we get to experience when we just get up and do the thing.
right.
Even when we're scared or we don't feel like we're good enough or we believe that other people will be able to do it better. If it's on your heart to do whatever the thing is, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Cynthia and I were at a conference, women's conference this Saturday, and the minister and a speaker asked us to write down how long do we want to live,
Mhm.
and then subtract where we are. So I got 42 years left, y'all,
Mhm.
but I'm not going to wait to year 41. I promise myself. But I've got 42 years to get my act together.
Mhm.
And I thought that was like there was a biology teacher that said you could live to this year. And then I found out somebody else has a grandparent that lived to this year. So I plan to live to 110. So I got 42 years left. Do the math.
Mhm. Absolutely. And I love that question. I love it when people ask that question because I'm 47 and I know women in their 40s who are just, they act like it's late. I
Yeah.
can't because I'm 42 and I'm divorced and I feel used up and I relate to all of those. When I got divorced, I felt completely old and used up. But there's so much life to live. And because of
Yeah.
the fact that you have so much experience in doing all the other things that you've done in life, this stage in your life this can be the absolute best time of your life if you want to make it that way. That's your
I'm
decision.
looking. I am. And I was at a church I went to visit Sunday, and I ended up seeing some people that I'd known. I have children your age. Okay. I realized I've known her that long because our kids went to school together. Black don't crack. She looked good too. Okay. And she's like, I said, I know you, I know you. She said, yeah, I know you. I said, where? I said, St. Simeon. I said, yeah. And she's like, weren't you on the board? And I'm like, yeah. And so I told my husband, I said, when I went back, I'm like, yeah, I've done some things over my life. I've done a lot of things over my life, but this is a new space, a new time, and I still want to do things. I don't want to just sit home. So I'm going to find the joy in that, like going to the women's conference, going to visit places. So this is a new retirement. I'm just saying, retirement is different. It's a good place, but it makes you sit down and say, what am I going to do next? What's
Mhm.
my next journey? So, but it's a good place.
Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. That makes me happy. When I hear women say that they have more to live, they have more to live for, that's exciting. That's really exciting. It gives other women, who have been through stuff, it gives women, just hope that, there's still space and time for them to be able to grow and get their own lives together and dream up new dreams and move forward with life. And I love that. I really love that. That's exciting. Thank you so much, Claire. Is there space for one more, or should we move on to the next question?
Sure, I'll go.
Yes.
Um, both ladies, Sakai and Claire, I so relate to what you shared. And just piggybacking off of what you shared, Claire, about the conference this weekend, I have 36 years to do great things. So it was a very good activity. And so Halana, when I saw you posted on Instagram about the spring and what are we hiding, and another person that I follow on Instagram, I was inspired to really look at myself and to check myself out for what am I hiding from? And I wrote something down in my journal about the things that I'm not ashamed of, but I wrote something different this morning because something else came on my heart. But I'm just gonna write what I wrote. And the question is, where in my life am I still hiding or waiting for, I guess, permission? But anyway, I'm hiding on all fronts, telling myself I'm a private person and my business is my business, not to be shared among others, not among strangers. Yes, I'm still concerned about what others may think. Yet strangers may actually need to hear from me. Strangers, friends, and family alike. I have so much to offer, so much that will help others see the gifts they hold, the greatness within them, and the joy that they are to the world. You see, each of us is a significant part, a needed piece in the montage of the world. The world is not complete without your contribution. And so it is for me. I am a relic, yet a gem, a love light, a foundational signal calling to the world to look at me while owning you. Time for us to shine, time for us to show up and glow up.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much. And Cynthia, is that your conference that you're putting together that you are doing?
No, that was actually a third friend of ours, her church,
Mhm.
and her sister, well, her sister's church. Sister Sharon, that's usually on here with us as well. And
Mhm.
so, no, that was not my conference.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. That was
she's,
beautiful.
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ms.
I
Claire.
was gonna say Sister Sharon, she's traveling today, so she apologized for not being here. She's that link, that's how we met. And I've gone to Cynthia's coaching class
My
too, and it's
workshop.
your
Yeah.
workshop. It was so inspiring. I plan to do more with you too. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
I love it,
Um,
Cynthia. I love it that I love so much of it. And then with the part you say, I don't know the second word, but the world is not complete without your, was it complete?
Without your contribution.
Without your contribution. I love that. And each of us are gems. That was very beautiful. And look at me while honoring you.
Hmm.
It's so whole. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That was beautiful. So I want to move on to prompt number 2. The question is, what does it feel like to be fully seen and celebrated in my work, my story, and my life? What does it feel like to be fully seen and celebrated in my work, my story, and my life? Okay, so the question is, what does it feel like to be fully seen and celebrated in my work, my story, and my life? For myself, I wrote down to be fully seen feels it feels like affirmation. It feels like knowing that without a doubt my existence is not happenstance but divine. That's what it feels like to be fully seen.
This prompt actually took me back through my family because I thought, I don't know what it feels like to be fully seen and celebrated. And it made me reflect upon my parents who, typically shy away from attention or, we don't do celebrations. I didn't come up with us doing celebrations. And so I noticed that within my life, like even one to one, in my personal relationships, I don't know that I know what that feels like to be celebrated for, much of anything. And I realized that that is not me. That's something that I've taken on because of the family that I was raised in, from my parents even to my grandparents, and I don't know prior to my grandparents. So I decided for myself that I'm going to start doing some creative visualization and imagining myself in situations where people will celebrate me so that when it occurs, I'm not shying away from it, right? Because there are small ways that people can celebrate you. And, as simple as whether someone gives you a compliment that you don't receive. So that is the stance I'm going to take. And I imagine that within that space, it will feel energizing, it will feel expansive, it will feel like delicious down to the bones.
Mhm. I love it. Thank you so much, Lakeisha. And can I, if I can for a moment, just invite you. You don't have to wait for other people to celebrate you, honey. You can celebrate yourself. That's where it all starts. You can celebrate yourself.
This is true. Thank you. I receive.
However it is that you want to be able to do that. Celebrate yourself. We don't, I'm not a person, not anymore anyway. I don't sit and wait for other people to tell me, great job. I've learned to be able to let that go, particularly from my parents, because they don't understand the life I'm trying to create for myself anyway. So waiting on affirmation on, who it is that I'm meant to be in the world just doesn't, it just, I've been waiting forever. And then I've learned that in the celebrating of myself, it brings other people towards me who see me, who get it. And then they want to celebrate with you. So don't wait. Celebrate yourself today. Find something to celebrate right now.
All right, I'm celebrating that. When I woke up this morning, I thought, oh, I don't know if I can do the meditative writing circle this morning. And I showed up. So I'm going to celebrate myself
I love it. Thank you. And I
not
appreciate
doing
you being here.
coffee. And I love coffee. I'm going to celebrate by treating myself to a cup of coffee when we get out of here. Thank you for holding this space so that I could come.
I love it. Thank you. I appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. Anyone else?
I'll share. Just going off, it's Lauren. Just going off of that, I wrote actually, it first means recognizing that greatness within me and then celebrating myself. The internal validation and acknowledgement comes first, and then everyone else can, however they see me, I would hope it is positive. There's no confusion on who I am, what I represent. People are able to resonate with my life and my story.
I like there's no confusion on who it is and what you are.
Yeah.
No confusion. I love that. You and everybody is clear on who Lauren is.
Yes.
I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you, Lauren.
I'll share.
Yes, okay.
I'd feel like the monarch butterfly who covers up to 3,000 miles as it migrates from North America to Australia and back to Mexico or California in warm weathers, traveling between 100 to 200 miles a day. And that's just an insect. So, what about me? If it can morph into such a beautiful being, what can a human achieve? Why do we stop our own metamorphosis when I could feel free, happy to soar high? How great to escape the mundane and come out of the hiding of the chrysalis. I'd feel glee to move into my divine calling. It feels so good, and I'd exult in the majesty of freedom. An ah and an amen, a sigh, a selah.
You about to be our resident poet, Sakai.
Thank you, Halona.
She played too much.
Girl, I wish I could write like that.
Oh, that was so good.
Right? It was sweet to our ears and in our inners, right?
Yes.
Oh, we love you, Sakai.
A
Thank
poet
you.
and you know it. That was good. So good.
Absolutely, that's beautiful. I need to see a poetry book or something from you at some point.
I love the
Absolutely.
metamorphosis
Mhm.
and the whole piece is transitional. It's such a, what's the word? Analogy, maybe, but oh, that
Mhm.
was good.
Thank
Mhm.
you. I have connected with someone to help me write. You might know them. Halana.
Yes, Sakai is she's talking about the writing ritual of the third session of the writing ritual starts on um I think it's
April 8th.
April 8th. April 8th. That's when it starts. And it's $150 for 6 weeks. And we meet every Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And I'll offer a short lesson on writing, and then we'll spend time together in writing. Pick a project that you want to be able to write on. So I love it. It's a really wonderful time. A couple of other ladies that come in and out of the circle are also in it as well. So um, if you were interested in at least looking at it and were considering joining, you can go to this website, halonablack.kit.com, and that's where you'll find the information.
And if I might add to my sisters, it's only $25, almost the cost of coffee today. Coffee and a crumpet. Very reasonably priced.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm excited to have you for the third session. All right. So prompt number 3, before it's time for us to go. Let's see. Spring is a season of growth. What is ready to bloom in me, and how will I honor it? What is ready to bloom in me, and how will I honor it? All right, final question. What is ready to bloom in me? How will I honor it?
If no one else is ready to share, can I share a second time?
Sure, go ahead. Absolutely.
I am ready for my physical body. I'm ready for my physical focus to bloom. Walking, dancing, stretching, exercising habitually, not just by happenstance. My body has been demanding my attention in so many ways. It is time now to give it the full attention that it deserves. I have been in my head for most of my life. It's time to move into my body.
Mhm. I love that. I can relate. I lived like that in my head for many, many years. Never really paid close attention to what my body was doing. And then I had to wait until a health crisis before I actually paid attention to it. So I always tell women, don't wait until the health crisis. We don't need to wait that long before we pay attention to our bodies. So it's possible to be better. Would anyone else like to share?
I'll share. This is Claire. It's small.
Yeah.
I just wrote, I'm ready to come out of hiding. The pandemic, which was real, followed by some trauma, which was real. It just kept me in the house. Even though these are facts, that really was no excuse not to get out. And now I'm ready to, to go out and explore the world. So blooming would be for me, getting involved in many more activities, some things that I've done before and some new things. So I can understand the lady before with the activity. I have been working out with Sister Sharon. So it's like I have an accountable party to work out, to stay active. Both of us are runners, but we haven't done that yet. So again, getting back into some of those things, even though it may not be new, it's still just like a seed, a flower comes back. So I want to come back to doing some of the things I used to do, the running and the walking, being involved in many women's activities, and then starting some other projects, my sewing projects, my dancing projects, things like that. And how will I honor that? I'm just going to be courageous and claim the victory now. Before I can, even though I have a vision, before I can see it, I have to, like I said before, I have to step forward now. It can't be perfect. So that's gonna, I realize that's my battle. I gotta move forward. And I don't think I was always like that. I always, even though I was shy, I was always courageous to me. I always wasn't afraid to try new things and stuff like that. So I don't know if the pandemic did that, because I was like all of us was hidden for so long. So now I gotta renew myself, refine myself, and bloom like the flowers, like I said, are gonna be blooming soon. So I feel like the seeds are there. I just need to water it and come back out.
Absolutely. And you preface it by saying that this is just something small. We always say that to ourselves. Oh, this is just small. It's not small. That's a big deal.
Thank you.
That's a big deal. So we got to change our language. This is where you are, and it's not small. That's worthy to be shared. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Any last thoughts?
I'll go.
Yes, Sri.
All right. My voiceover work is ready to bloom within me. I have given it enough time to stay within the shadows of safety, unseen and unheard. It is ready to liberate itself and others in a powerful way that whispers to other parts of me, hey, the coast is clear. I will honor it by reading this aloud.
I love it. And
Had
you have the
fun.
perfect
That
voice
was
for
fun.
doing voiceovers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very calming and soothing. I love it. I would love to hear your voice on some audiobooks or something. Some meditation albums. I love
Soon
it.
come. Soon come.
Yes. Thank you. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you all for being here.
Thanks for having it.
I hope you come back again. We do this every week. Again, if you're interested in joining the writing ritual, I put the link in the comments. It's halonablack.kit.com. The $150 for 6 weeks. We start on April 8th. And I would love to have you. We have ladies in there who are starting and moving very well forward on their books. Every time we meet, they finish about 1,000, 1,500 words of their project. And if we didn't have that session for us to be able to work together, they wouldn't be getting written. So it's absolutely working. So thank you all. We will be back here next week and look forward to the email. See you soon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Enjoy. Bye.
Have a great
Bye,
day, everyone.
sisters.
Thanks again.
Thank you.